everything that I learned was through my experiences on my own. I never had a father figure in my life. I had coaches. I had different teachers that I respected. But without having a man in my household, it was kind of difficult. Because everything I would go out and do, I had to be on my own. I had to figure out on my own. But I want to take you back to my weekend. This past weekend, I graduated from the University of Michigan, and I had the opportunity to go back and see some of my boys. I hadn't seen some of these guys in years. Now, some of the names are, you may know, Tom Brady was there, Ty Law was there, Chris Singletary, and some of the guys still playing in the NFL. And it was so fun for me to go back and relive the old times that we had. And as I was sitting there, I was sitting in my grandmother's room, and I began to sit there. Now, my grandmother to this day is fancy. I don't know if any guys know what that is. She can't move. She can't move her arms, she can't move her legs, she can't move her head. All she can do is lay in the bed and watch TV all day. She's been doing like this for the last 27 years. Now, I sat here and I watched television, and I began to think about things that I've been through. And I started reflecting on my whole weekend. And all we did this whole weekend was talk about old memories. And then I got me thinking about how we as people, we live off memories. So everybody lives. No matter who you are, you live life off memories. And I sat there and watched television, and this is one of the ones that, when I think about this memory, it really shocks me and it hurts my heart. I was sitting there and we watched television, I talked to my grandmother, and I watched TV, and the news came on, and then I got to hear about a story about a young baby and her mother. She's sitting there, and then they said, okay, well, this man that they met, and she met on the internet, it began that she moved in with this guy, they moved down to Florida, they're sitting there, and the guy said, well, oh, I didn't know I was hitting her that hard. I said, what? You know, I'm still watching this TV, and I'm looking, and he said, well, all I wanted to do was teach her how to say please and thank you. It's a 3-year-old child. He kept hitting this child. She wouldn't say please and thank you. He kept beating this child, probably beat this child to death. He took this child, put it in a box, started stashing in the closet for 3 months. After he did that, they decided to take this box and throw it in the river, try to cover up that crime. Then I started thinking, like, man, thought about my life, thought about me losing my brother. In the moment I lost my brother when he got shot. And I started thinking, like, you know what, man, we really live life off memories. The memories you create today will last a lifetime. Began to think about that. Then I think about some of the positive memories I have, and I'll take you for one of them. When I was winning this Grey Cup, it was 2004, I'm sitting on the bench, and one of my teammates, who had been playing for about 15 years, and I'm sitting on the side, and he began to cry, you know. I'm tearing up, and, you know, he gets to pat me on my back, laughs and smiles at me. And then all of a sudden, he kind of tapped me on the shoulder, and he goes, you know I'm telling everybody about this play. I kind of looked over and said, no, I open it up to you ever again. But that's a memory I have. I'll take you to another memory I have. 2002, I went to a trial. When I left the University of Michigan, I was done. I didn't want to play football anymore, and I traveled the world, and I did a lot of different things. I finally came back to a trial. 400 people at this trial. I went to the trial, and I walked in there. The night before, Gladiator is my favorite movie. I'm sitting there, I'm doing push-ups in front of the TV. Yeah, can't wait till this workout. Ooh, I want to get somebody. Next morning, I get up. Now, as I said before, you may see me as a football player. That's what everybody recognizes me as, but that's not who I am. That's what I do. Who I am is I'm a father. I have 4 children. I have a 7-year-old, a 6-year-old, a 5-year-old, all girls, and I have a 1-year-old baby boy. That's my mom. As I'm sitting there, and I'm sitting there pushing up, and I looked over and I said, you know what, man, I need to call my mom and find out about this game. You know, try to give me some inspiration. She gave me a quote, and she said, if you always lean on your faith, there's nothing to change. There's nothing to stop. So I wrote that and I put it on my dashboard. The next morning I get up, I go to this trial. I go through all the trials to work. I had the fastest 40 time, I had the fastest for push-ups, I had the fastest 225. After I got done, I left. Thinking I was going to make this team. 2 weeks later, they called me up. I was the only guy that signed for the team. Memories. I take you to another memory of mine. And this is one of the ones, and this is kind of a sad memory. It's about my mom. Like I was telling you, my dad died when I was 2. When I turned 13, she finally met a boyfriend. man came into our life. I thought he was cool. I thought he was a good man. He came in and started riding his clothes, taking his line ice cream. I'm like, oh, this guy's all right. So that same week, he moved out. 7 days later, he's beating on my mom. He beat her screaming. All I hear is screams from upstairs. Finally, I get in the house, I come downstairs, and I look, and he's wailing on my mom, punching her in the face. All of a sudden, she wanted to kiss him. So, man, so I go ask my mom, I told my grandmother, I said, what do I do? How do I get away from this? She said, son, lean on your faith. That's all you have. So I took everything that I do. I broke down scriptures and I taped them over doors. I put them in my book bag. I did anything I could to lean back on my faith. That's all I had. Take you to another memory of mine. I was coming home from school one day, and I walked in the house. I hear a lot of ruckus in the house, and I'm looking around, and I don't see anybody. I go down in the basement. It's just him with a couple friends of his, and they were doing drugs. I walk down and look, and I walk back to the stairs. 5 minutes later, you come running up the stairs, kicking in my door. Want to come try to choke me, because I came downstairs and got a chance to see him interrupt what he was doing. That's another memory of mine. Another memory of mine is when I came home, my mom was sitting on the couch, and I'm sitting there and I'm talking to my mom. He busted the door. He looked in and he, for whatever reason, just wanted to start beating up on everybody. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I'm a 14-year-old kid. Why did I do this? What is it about me that I've done to have to deserve all this? This happened for me from 13 to 20. Every night I would pray. I would get on my knees and pray and ask God, man, please take this man out of my life. Somehow, some way, please take him out of my life. 13, 14, 15, 16. I finally turned 20 years old. He went to jail. After he went to jail, that was the best time of my life because now I felt free. I went off to school. I came back home. He had got out of jail. Came to my house, broke all my windows out, punched my mom and I again. Memories. Why is it that the negative memories seem to linger a little bit longer than the positive? Why is it that we don't focus on the people that we sit next to? Because that's all the life is about, is relationships. When I started this thing with Scott, and we started this presentation, it gets tough for me to come out here and talk about my experiences, my life. But when I talk about it, and then when I get done, all I want is somebody to understand that we all are the same.